हॅलो. येतोय का? आवाज येतोय? नाही नाही, तिचा येतोय का म्हणलं? मग ठीक. Okay, students, we are going to start the further lecture. Okay. So, based on yesterday's concept, so many girls and many boys they have said me, sir, just we have doubt regarding chiral centers. So first, we are going to take 4 to 5 examples based on chiral center, and then again further we will continue our optical isomerism. So I have taught you that what do you mean by chiral carbon? Chiral carbon is nothing but it is a sp3 hybridized carbon attached to 4 different groups. sp3 hybridized carbon attached to 4 different groups is called chiral carbon in this way. See, carbon attached to 4 different groups. See, carbon attached to 4 different groups is called chiral carbon, and this chiral carbon is denoted by asterisk mark. And then I said you regarding chiral nitrogen also. What is chiral nitrogen? It is a tertiary amine in which nitrogen is attached to 3 different groups, right? It is a tertiary amine. It is a tertiary amine in which nitrogen is attached to 3 different groups. So nitrogen is attached to 3 different groups, A, B, C. So this nitrogen is also called as chiral atom. This nitrogen is also called as chiral atom. Okay. So tertiary amine in which nitrogen is attached to 3 different groups is called a chiral atom. I said you that exception. Okay. Regardingly, I said you the exception. What is the exception? The exception is if nitrogen, right, is attached to, though the nitrogen is attached to 3 different groups, but if the lone pair present on the nitrogen is adjacent to pi bond. Okay. Lone pair and pi bond are adjacent. आजूबाजूला आहेत हे. Adjacent indicates आजूबाजूला, right? Lone pair and pi bond are adjacent to each other. In this case, this nitrogen is not a chiral atom. Okay. If lone pair present on the nitrogen is adjacent to pi bond. If lone pair present on the nitrogen is adjacent to pi bond, then the nitrogen atom is not a chiral. So we will say this is not a chiral atom. Okay. So these two are conditions for chirality, and this is the exception where nitrogen is not chiral. Right. So these are chiral centers. Then we can say, okay, so this is the determination of chiral atoms. Now we are going to solve some examples that how to identify the chiral atoms in the following examples. How to calculate the chiral atoms in the following examples. So we are going to see how to calculate the chiral atoms in the following examples. So concentrate here. First example you have in this way. So, right, this is the first example. In this example, we are going to see how many chiral atoms are present in the given compound, I am going to draw the detailed structure of this compound. See here. Now see. Now this is the detailed structure of this following example. Okay. This is the detailed structure of the following example. Now let us try to understand how many chiral centers are present in this given molecule. Look at this carbon. Now this carbon, is it attached to 4 different groups? Right? How to identify? See, this carbon, firstly it is attached to CH3, second it is attached to H. Now third, just go this side, and fourth, go this side. Okay, this only I have explained you in this way. Just cut it, right? What is the meaning? If you cut this ring, so you will get two sides. This is one side, this is another side. Now look at this carbon. Is this carbon attached to 4 different groups? Look clearly. First, this carbon is attached to CH3. Second, it is attached to H. Third, it is attached to CH2. And this side, fourth, it is attached to CH double bond CH. That means this carbon is attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is a chiral atom, or it is called as chiral carbon. So I will, this carbon is a chiral. So how many chiral atoms are present in this molecule? We have only one chiral atom in this molecule. We have how many chiral atoms in this molecule? We have one chiral atom in this molecule. Okay. I will take the second example. Okay. Now try to identify this example. How many chiral centers are present in this molecule? Right? Now again, I will draw the detailed structure of this molecule. This is in this way. C, CH2, 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 C, CH3H, ClH. Okay, this is the structure, right? Can you see this structure? Now look, let us see at this carbon. Let us see this carbon. Now this carbon, so I am going to divide in this way. Okay, if you don't divide also, doesn't matter, but simply for your understanding, I have divided. It is not compulsory that always you have to divide. Without dividing also you can see. Okay, just look. Now this carbon is attached to first group H, second CH3, third this side, what is there? CH2, and fourth group this side, CH2. Have you observed that third group is CH2 and fourth group is CH2? That means this carbon is attached to two same groups. Okay, see, first group is hydrogen, second group is CH3, third group is CH2, and fourth group is also CH2. Okay, third group is CH2 and fourth group is also CH2. That is why this carbon is not attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is not chiral carbon. That means in this compound, this carbon is not chiral. Okay, now let us go towards this carbon. Let us go towards this carbon. Right, now see, at this carbon we will see this carbon, again it is attached to what? First Cl, Second what? Hydrogen. Third it is attached to what? CS2, CS2. And fourth it is attached to what? CS2, CS2. You go by this side or you go by this side. This side you will get one type of group, this side you will get one type of group. So first group, second group, third group and fourth group. Can you see third and fourth group? So this carbon is attached to this side by CS2, CS2 and this carbon is attached to this side by CS2, CS2. That means these two groups are same, or you can divide it. When you divide, see, first Cl, second hydrogen, third CS2, CS2, fourth CS2, CS2. That means this carbon is also not attached to four different groups. Can you see? This carbon is also not attached to four different groups. That is why this carbon is also not chiral atom. So in this example, we does not have any chiral atom. We does not have any chiral atom. Okay. Let us see the third example. Now we will make the example something complex examples. Okay. Now we will see some difficult examples, some complex examples. Try to understand this. See. Okay. Now this is the example. Again, I am going to draw the detailed structure of the example so that you can understand all the chiral centers, how I am calculating here, right? See here. See, here there is double bond, here there is Br, here there is OH, H, this is 2H, this is H, this is Cl, H, 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 CS3, H, 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 and this is H. Now this is the actual compound. So this is the compound. I have drawn the detailed structure of this compound. Now let us try to find the chiral atoms. Let us try to find the chiral atoms. Let us see this carbon. Can you see this carbon? See, everybody. Is it attached to four different groups? Shall we see? This carbon is attached to first hydrogen, second chlorine, third it is attached to, can you see, CH group, and fourth it is attached to what? H2. Okay, see, third it is attached to CH and fourth it is attached to CH2. That means this carbon is attached to four different groups. That means this carbon is what? A chiral center. So this carbon is a chiral center. So I will give here in this way. This carbon is a chiral center. Let us go towards this carbon or this carbon, right? Now let us see, is this carbon attached to four different groups? Now look at this carbon. Firstly, it is attached to CH3. Second, it is attached to what? Hydrogen. Now third, go upside, it is attached to CH2, CHCl. Can you see? Third, it is attached to CH2, CHCl, and this is attached to CH2, CH. That means third group and fourth group, they are not same, they are different. Once again, please concentrate here. See, this carbon is attached to first atom hydrogen, second atom CH3, third CH2, CHCl. See, third it is attached to CH2, CH, Cl. Fourth, it is attached to what? CS2CH. That means third group and fourth group, they are different. That means this carbon is also attached to four different groups. That is why this carbon is also a chiral carbon. This carbon is also a chiral carbon. Now next, shall we see this carbon? See. Now this carbon, first it is attached to hydrogen. Can you see? This is hydrogen. Second, it is attached to CH. Okay. So look at this carbon. First, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to CH. Third, it is attached to CH2. Fourth, it is attached to CHCl. That means this carbon is also attached to four different groups. Is it? Once again, I will repeat. First, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to CH. Third, it is attached to CH2. Fourth, it is attached to CHCl. That means this carbon is also chiral. So this position is also a chiral center. Look at this carbon. First, it is attached to what? Hydrogen. Second, it is attached to what? CH2. Third, it is attached to what? C double bond C. Fourth, it is attached to what? CH. See, this carbon is also attached to four different groups. Once again, I am saying. So first, it is attached to what? CH. Second, it is attached to what? CH2. Third, it is attached to what? C double bond C. Fourth, it is attached to what? CH. Now this carbon is also attached to four different groups. That is why this carbon is also chiral. Now let us see this carbon. Okay. Let us see this carbon. Is it attached to four different groups? See. This carbon is attached to one hydrogen. This carbon is attached to second OH. See. This carbon is attached to one hydrogen. This carbon is attached to second OH. This carbon is attached to third C double bond C and fourth CH2. Now this is also attached to four different groups. One hydrogen, second OH, third C double bond C, fourth CH2. That is why this carbon is also chiral. So total how many chiral carbons do we have? Total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total we have 5 chiral atoms in these following examples. We have 5 chiral atoms in these following examples. Okay. Let us see next. Next example. Now look here. Now next example in this way. See, this is the example I have drawn. Okay, I have make it little bit complex, right? See here, everybody. How many chiral centers are present here? Let us try to understand. Now you can understand it easily, right? See, again I am going to draw the detailed structure for you so that you can understand. This is benzene ring. You know that, everybody. This is benzene ring in this way. Okay. Double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond. This is benzene ring. This is attached to methyl, hydrogen, OH. Now this is attached to carbon. This carbon is attached to nitrogen in this way. Double bond, H, H, H. C. I have drawn the detailed structure. Okay. So in order to make you explain, I have drawn the detailed structure of this. Now let us try to understand how many chiral centers are present in this following. Okay. Now you know that this carbon is sp2, this is also 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 sp2. Now this is all the carbon atoms in the benzene ring are sp2 hybridized. All the carbon atoms in the benzene ring are sp2 hybridized, and none of the sp2 hybridized atom is chiral, because in order to become a chiral atom it should be sp3 hybridized. So that is why none of the atom in this is a chiral atom. Now let us go towards this atom, this carbon. This carbon, now see, is it attached to 4 different groups? Firstly, it is attached to what? See, chlorine. Second, it is attached to what? Hydrogen. First, it is attached to chlorine. Second, it is attached to hydrogen. Third, it is attached to what? C double bond C. And fourth, it is attached to what? CH. So third, it is attached to C double bond C. Fourth, it is attached to CH. Therefore, this carbon is attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is a chiral. I am giving here it. This carbon is a chiral center. Okay. Now let us talk about this carbon here. Now look at this carbon. This carbon, one, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to CH3. Third, it is attached to CH. And fourth, it is attached to C double bond C. That means this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is also a chiral center. Let us take this carbon. See this position. Everybody, can you see this position? Okay. Now this carbon, one, it is attached to what? Hydrogen. Second, it is attached to what? C double bond C. Third, it is attached to what? CHCl. Fourth, it is attached to what? CH. Once again, this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. First, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to what? C double bond C. Third, it is attached to what? CHCl. Fourth, it is attached to what? CH. That means this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is also a chiral. Look at this carbon. Now this carbon, look at this position, this carbon. Okay, we are talking about this carbon. Now this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. Can you see? Look here. First, it is attached to hydrogen. See? First, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to CH2. See? Third, it is attached to CH3. And fourth, it is attached to CH. Now this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is also a chiral center. Now let us talk about this carbon. Okay, is this carbon attached to 4 different groups? Let us check. First, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to nitrogen. Third, it is attached to C double bond C. Fourth, it is attached to CH2. That means this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is also a chiral center. Now let's talk about the nitrogen. Let's talk about the nitrogen. Now look here, nitrogen. Nitrogen here attached to CH first, then C2H5, then CH3. So this nitrogen is also chiral center. So total how many chiral atoms or chiral centers are present in the given molecule? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 chiral centers we have. Okay. Let us try to solve one more example. See here. So this is the molecule, right? Now I am going to draw this molecule in detail. Now see here. This is CH3, CH2, CH, Cl, CH, Cl, CH, Cl, CH, Cl, single bond CH3. Okay, so I have given this example for you to solve. Now look everybody, right? We are going to find how many chiral centers. Now look at this carbon. Is it attached to 4 different groups? Shall we see? First, it is attached to hydrogen itself. Second, it is attached to chlorine. Third, it is attached to CH2, CH3. And fourth, it is attached to CHCl. So that's why this carbon is a chiral carbon. So I can give a chiral center. Now let us talk about this carbon. Is it a chiral center? Shall we see? First, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to Cl. Third, it is attached to this complete group. Try to understand. Okay? See. Third, it is attached to this complete group. And fourth, it is attached to this complete group. Okay? First, it is attached to hydrogen. Second, it is attached to chlorine. Third, it is attached to this side complete group, and fourth, this side. Now we have to see, are they same or different? Hydrogen, chlorine, CHCl, CH2. This is CHCl, CHCl. That means this side group and this side group, it is totally different. That is why this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is also chiral atom. This carbon is also chiral atom. Okay? Right. Now look. Let us talk about this carbon. Now first, it is attached to what? Hydrogen. Second, it is attached to what? Chlorine. Third, it is attached to CHCl, CH3. And fourth, it is attached to CHCl, CHCl, CH2, CH3. That means this carbon is also attached to 4 different groups. That is why this carbon is also a chiral atom. This carbon is also a chiral atom. Now let us talk about this carbon. It is also attached to 4 different groups. One hydrogen, second chlorine, third CH3, 4 this side group. That is why this carbon is also a chiral. So total how many chiral atoms are present, or total how many chiral centers are present? 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 chiral centers are present. Okay? Now next students, we are going to discuss the next point. The next point, that is what? Regarding optical activity, right? Yesterday I have said you that practically it is very easy to determine whether the molecule is optically active or not. Practically it is easy to determine whether the molecule is optically active or not. I said you that. If any compound rotates the plane of PPL either towards right side or towards left side, then the molecule is optically active. I said you that. If any compound has tendency to rotate the plane of plane polarized light either towards right side or towards left side, then the molecule is said to be optically active. This is identified experimentally, but how to identify it theoretically we are going to learn now. Okay, how to identify it theoretically we are going to learn it now. Suppose I have given you 4 to 5 compounds, and if I am asking you which of them are optically active, identify. So how, that is why now we are going to learn it theoretically. Now theoretically we are going to determine optical activity. So I will give the heading here, conditions of optical activity. Conditions of optical activity, or this is also called as chirality. It is also called as chirality. So conditions of optical activity or chirality. Okay, see, I am going to explain this in 2 or 3 phases. Please try to understand it carefully. Okay, right? Now, what are the conditions of optical activity or chirality? Optical activity is said to be chirality. Chiral center or chiral atom is different from chirality. Okay, chiral atom or chiral center is different from chirality. The meaning of chirality is optically active. Okay, so try to understand this. So first condition of optical activity, what is that? Compound should not be divided. Compound should not be divided into 2 equal halves. Compound should not be divided into 2 equal halves. And second statement or second point is that compounds should be non super imposable mirror images of each other. Now let us try to understand this concept. Okay, so non superimposable, this is a new word for you. I am going to underline this word. Okay, let us try to understand the meaning of non superimposable mirror image. Right, now what are the conditions for a molecule to be optically active? What are the conditions for a molecule to be optically active? Condition number 1, that molecule or compound should not be divided into 2 equal halves. You know that 2 equal half means 2 equal parts, right? If any molecule is there, if I am dividing the molecule, they should not be divided into 2 equal parts. This is the first condition. If the molecules are divided into 2 equal parts, then they are not optically active. So first condition, half indicates equal parts. Here the meaning of half is equal parts. That compound should not be divided into 2 equal halves. That means whenever I am going to divide the molecule into 2 equal, they should not be exactly divided into 2 equal parts. If by any means the molecule is divided into 2 equal parts, then the molecule is not optically active. Okay, this is the first condition. Now second condition, compound should be non-superimposable mirror images of each other. Now I would like to explain the difference between superimposability and non-superimposability. Please try to understand. First I will explain you by showing a paper and a book, and then I will explain you by taking an example. Just try to understand. Okay, see here. Superimposable, and the second is non-superimposable. Okay, superimposable and non-superimposable. Now, what is the meaning of superimposable and non-superimposable? Just try to understand. If I am having two compounds, compound 1 and compound 2. If I am having two compounds, compound 1 and compound 2. Now, compound 2 is kept on compound 1. If compound 2 is kept on compound 1, we know they are two compounds. But if that after keeping compound 2 on compound 1, if they look like one compound, that is called as superimposability. It is called as what? Superimposability. I will show you the example. Now imagine I have two compounds. So this part is a first compound, this part is a second compound. Okay, I have two compounds, one compound, second compound, first compound, second compound. Now actually there are two compounds, first compound and second compound. Now I will keep first compound on second compound. I have kept first compound on the second. Now how it is observed? How it is observed? See, you can observe these are not two, but it is one. It is looking like one compound, right? The same statement I would explain in Marathi. Just look here. काय म्हणतो मी बघा, माझ्याकडे दोन कंपाऊंड आहेत बेटा, कंपाऊंड 1 आणि कंपाऊंड 2. मी काय सांगतो, जर दोन्ही कंपाऊंड एकूण एकांवर जर ठेवले तर हे दोन वेगळे वेगळे तुम्हाला दिसतंय की एकसारखा दिसतंय? एकसारखं दिसतंय. जर दोन कंपाऊंड एकूण एकांवर जर ठेवले तर ते दोन नाही, जर एकासारखं दिसत असेल तर त्याला आपण म्हणतो सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण? सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. दोन वेगळे ऑब्जेक्ट्स जर एकूण एकांवर जर ठेवल्यावर तर ते दोन नाही एकच ऑब्जेक्ट सारखे जर दिसू लागले तर याला आपण काय म्हणतो? सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. बेटा हे खूप महत्वाचं आहे, समजून घ्या परत एकदा मी काय सांगतोय ते. हे माझ्याकडे दोन पार्ट आहेत, पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2. हे दोन्ही वेगळे आहेत. मी पार्ट 2 वर पार्ट 1 ठेवला तर आता तुम्हाला हे दोन वेगळे वेगळे दिसत आहेत का? नाही. हे तुम्हाला कसं दिसतंय? एकच पार्ट आहे. याला काय म्हणतो? सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. आता सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटीला मी काय सांगतोय, एक एक्झाम्पल घेऊन दाखवतो बोर्डवर बघा. है ना, बघा सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. माझ्याजवळ एक कंपाऊंड आहे C2H5 COH HCH3. माझ्याकडे अजून एक कंपाऊंड आहे C2H5 COH HCH3. हा कंपाऊंड 1, हा कंपाऊंड 2. बेटा मी सगळ्यांना एक रिक्वेस्ट करतोय की थोडं इमॅजिनेशन पॉवर वाढवा. ठीक आहे, मी काय सांगतोय त्याच्याकडे नीट लक्ष देऊन ऐका आणि आपलं इमॅजिनेशन पॉवर वाढवा बेटा. ठीक आहे, आता मी काय करतोय, या कंपाऊंड 2 ला उचलतो आणि कंपाऊंड 1 वर ठेवतो बेटा. बघा मी काय सांगतोय, कंपाऊंड 2 ला लिफ्ट करतोय, मी उचलतोय याला आणि मी कंपाऊंड 1 वर ठेवतो. जर असं ठेवलं तर काय होईल? याला जर उचलून याच्यावर जर ठेवलं, C2H5 C2H5 सोबत मॅच होईल, कार्बन कार्बन सोबत मॅच होईल, हायड्रोजन हायड्रोजन सोबत मॅच होईल, OH OH सोबत मॅच होईल, CH3 CH3 सोबत मॅच होईल. म्हणजे हे जर याला असं उचलून ठेवलं याच्यावर तर दोन वेगळे वेगळे कंपाऊंड दिसेल का आपल्याला? नाही. हे दोन्ही एकूण एकांमध्ये मिक्स होईल आणि काय दिसेल आपल्याला? एकच कंपाऊंड सारखं दिसेल, आहे की नाही? याच्या कंडिशनला आपण काय म्हणतो? सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. काय म्हणतो आपण? सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. परत सांगतोय बेटा बघा, याला कंपाऊंड 2 ला उचलायचं, कंपाऊंड 1 वर ठेवायचं. 2 ला जर 1 वर ठेवलं तर दोन्ही कंपाऊंड एकसारखे आहेत ना बेटा, आहे ना? तर हे दोन वेगळे वेगळे दिसतील का? नाही. हे कसं दिसेल? दोन जरी एकूण एकांवर ठेवलं तर आपल्याला बघताना आपल्याला कसं वाटते की हे एकच आहे. अशा कंडिशनला आपण काय म्हणतो? सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी. काय म्हणतो? सुपर इम्पॉसिबिलिटी. मग आता नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल म्हणजे काय? नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल म्हणजे काय? दोन कंपाऊंड्स किंवा दोन ऑब्जेक्ट्स एकूण एकांवर जर ठेवले तर ते दोन वेगळे वेगळे आहेत म्हणून दिसायला पाहिजे. दे शुड नॉट लुक लाईक वन, है ना? दे शुड नॉट लुक लाईक वन. येस, इफ वन कंपाऊंड इज केप्ट ओव्हर अनदर कंपाऊंड, if one compound is kept over another compound, they should look like two compounds and those two compounds are mirror images of each other. दाखवतो बघा बेटा, हा एक एक्झाम्पल दाखवतो आता, है ना? नॉन सुपर वाला एक एक्झाम्पल दाखवतो. बघा बेटा, नॉन सुपर वाला एक्झाम्पल दाखवतो. हाच कंपाऊंड आपण वेगळ्या पद्धतीने घेऊ. हे बघा, बघा बेटा, हा परत हा कंपाऊंड 1, हा कंपाऊंड 2, हा कंपाऊंड 1, हा कंपाऊंड 2. बेटा परत काय करायचं? सेकंड कंपाऊंडला घ्या, फर्स्ट वर ठेवा. काय होईल बघा? C2H5 वर काय होईल? C2H5 येईल. CS3 वर काय येईल? CS3 येईल. बट H वर काय येणार? OH. आणि OH वर काय येणार? H येणार. म्हणजे ते दोन कंपाऊंड एकसारखे दिसतील का? नाही. H वर जर OH आला, आपल्याला क्लिअर कळून जाईल की बेटा हे दोन्ही कंपाऊंड वेगळे वेगळे आहेत, एकसारखे आहेत म्हणून कळून जाईल का? है ना? मी काय सांगतोय लक्षात आलं बेटा? हे बघा, हा माझा हात, हा दुसरा हात. मी काय केलं? दोन्ही हातांना ठेवले, असे मर्ज केले. दोन्ही हातांना मर्ज केले. तुम्हाला वाटतंय का हे एक हात आहे म्हणून? नाही. याचा एक अंगठा आणि एक अंगठा मर्ज होतंय का? नाही होतंय. सो दिस इज नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबिलिटी. याला काय म्हणतो आपण? नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबिलिटी. इफ टू कंपाऊंड्स आर केप्ट ओव्हर वन अनदर, if they are not looking like one, it is called as non superimposable. बघा बेटा, नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल. परत लक्षात घ्या, हा कन्सेप्ट मी परत परत का सांगतो? कारण की हे खूप महत्वाचं आहे. लक्षात घ्या बेटा, दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. जस्ट ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड. ह्या कंपाऊंडला घ्या, याच्यावर ठेवा, है ना? H वर काय येईल? OH. ज्यावेळेस H वर OH आला, तिथेच आपल्याला कळून जातं की हे दोन कंपाऊंड वेगळे आहेत ना बेटा? याला आपण काय म्हणतो? नॉन सुपर इम्पोजेबल मिरर इमेजेस. याला मिरर इमेजेस काय म्हणलं? आरसा जर ठेवला, तुम्ही आरसा पुढे उभा टाकला तर हाताचा इमेज हात येईल की नाही पुढे? तसंच बघा, हा मिरर जर समजला मी, हे घ्या, OH चा इमेज काय यायला पाहिजे? OH आलं की नाही? ह्याला हे मिरर इमेज आहेत एकूण एकांचे. हे कसे आहेत? मिरर इमेजेस आहेत. बट सुपर इम्पॉसिबल आहे की नॉन सुपर? नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल आहेत. कसे आहेत? नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल आहेत. these are non super mirror impossible of images of each other. याला म्हणतो आपण नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबिलिटी. लक्षात आलं मी काय सांगतोय? नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबिलिटी. ओके. मग सेकंड कंडिशन काय सांगितलं मी? सेकंड कंडिशन काय सांगितलं? कंपाऊंड शुड बी नॉन superimposable mirror images of each other. If compounds are non-super mirror impossible images of each other, then the compounds are optically active. Then the compounds are optically active. याच्याबद्दल अजून मी डिटेल उद्याच्या लेक्चर मध्ये सांगणार आहे, अजून शॉर्ट फॉर्म मध्ये सांगणार आहे, अजून क्लिअर सांगणार आहे. बट आपल्याला वन बाय वन, स्टेप बाय स्टेप जायचं आहे. त्यासाठी पहिले नॉन सुपर इम्पोजेबल मिरर इमेजेस ऑफ इच अदर काय हे शिकून घ्या. कारण की एक्झाम मध्ये क्वेश्चन येतं की हा जर कंपाऊंड आहे तर याचा नॉन सुपर मिरर इम्पॉसिबल इमेज कोणता आहे ओळखा. ठीक आहे, असं एक्झाम मध्ये क्वेश्चन येतो. तर त्यासाठी नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल कळाला बेटा? परत एकदा सांगतोय मी, सुपर इम्पॉसिबल आणि नॉन सुपर म्हणजे काय? दोन कंपाऊंड्स जर एकूण एकांवर जर ठेवले, जर ते दोन कंपाऊंड्स वेगळे वेगळे न दिसता एकच जर दिसत असेल, त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? सुपर इम्पॉसिबिलिटी. जर दोन कंपाऊंड्स एकूण एकांवर जर ठेवले आणि ते दोन्ही वेगळे वेगळे जर दिसत असतील तर त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल. काय म्हणतो? नॉन सुपर इम्पॉसिबल. ओके. सो इफ दिस टू कंडिशन्स आर सॅटिस्फाइड, then the compound is said to be optically ऍक्टिव्ह. कंडिशन 1 काय, कंपाऊंड शुड नॉट बी डिवायडेड इंटू 2 इक्वल हाफ. आणि सेकंड स्टेटमेंट काय, कंपाऊंड शुड बी नॉन सुपर इम्पोजेबल मिरर इमेजेस ऑफ each other. If these two conditions are satisfied, then the molecule is said to be optically active. बेटा बघा, याच्यावर एक असर्शन रिझनिंग एक्झाम मध्ये आलं होतं. स्टेटमेंट काय मी हे सांगतो, रिझन उद्या एक्सप्लेन करतो, कारण की उद्याच्या टॉपिक मध्ये त्याचं रिझन आहे. स्टेटमेंट ऐकून घ्या, स्टेटमेंट अंडरस्टँड करून घ्या. प्रेझन्स ऑफ chiral atom किंवा chiral carbon is not a sufficient condition for a molecule to be optically active. बघा हा स्टेटमेंट, presence of chiral carbon is not a sufficient condition for a molecule to be optically active. म्हणजे काय सांगतंय, जर एखादा मॉलिक्यूल मध्ये 2 किंवा 3 किंवा 4 किती कायरल ऍटम्स जर असेल, जर नुसतं कायरल ऍटम्स असल्यामुळे मॉलिक्यूल ऑलवेज ऍक्टिव्ह असू शकते असं काहीही नाही. असे खूप सारे मॉलिक्यूल आहेत की त्याच्यामध्ये कायरल ऍटम्स आहेत बट स्टील दे आर ऑप्टिकली इनएक्टिव्ह. आणि असेही काही मॉलिक्यूल्स आहेत की त्याच्यामध्ये कायरल कार्बन्स आहेत बट स्टील दे आर ऑप्टिकली ऍक्टिव्ह. म्हणजे नुसतं कायरल कार्बन मॉलिक्यूल मध्ये असणं हे सांगू शकत नाही की मॉलिक्यूल ऑप्टिकली आहे किंवा नाही, है ना. काय म्हणतंय, presence of chiral carbon is not a sufficient condition for a molecule to be optically active. काय म्हणताय, लक्षात आलं ना बेटा, की कायरल कार्बन असणे हे कधीच सांगू शकत नाही की मॉलिक्यूल ऑप्टिकली आहे किंवा नाही. लक्षात आलं बेटा मी काय सांगतोय, राईट. मग हे स्टेटमेंट आहे, याच्या मागचं रिझन उद्या आपण मी एक्सप्लेन करू. उद्या आपल्याला माहिती आहे हे कन्सेप्ट आहे, हा नुसता स्टेटमेंट आणि रिझनच नाहीये, हा कन्सेप्ट आहे. याला आपण कंटिन्यू करू. बघा अजून एक स्टेटमेंट दिला, ह्या दोन्ही स्टेटमेंट एक्झाम मध्ये दिलेले आहेत. इफ मॉलिक्यूल कंटेन्स 1 chiral carbon, then it is optically ऍक्टिव्ह. बघा हे दोन्ही स्टेटमेंट बघा, हे दोन्ही स्टेटमेंटचं असर्शन रिझनिंग एक्झाम मध्ये विचारलेलं आहे ना. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट काय करतंय, जर एखाद्या मॉलिक्यूल मध्ये एकच कायरल कार्बन असेल तर तो 100% ऑप्टिकली ऍक्टिव्ह आहे. आणि हे स्टेटमेंट काय सांगतोय, जर एखाद्या मॉलिक्यूल मध्ये 2 किंवा 2 पेक्षा जास्त कायरल ऍटम आहेत तर त्यावेळेस आपण सांगू शकत नाही की तो मॉलिक्यूल ऑप्टिकली ऍक्टिव्ह आहे की नाही. ओके, दोन्ही स्टेटमेंटचा अर्थ समजून घ्या बेटा. पहिलं स्टेटमेंट काय सांगतोय, जर एखाद्या मॉलिक्यूल मध्ये 2 किंवा 2 पेक्षा जास्त जर कायरल कार्बन असतील तर आपण सांगू शकत नाही की ते मॉलिक्यूल ऑप्टिकली आहे की नाही. बट जर एखाद्या मॉलिक्यूल मध्ये एकच कायरल कार्बन आहे तर तो मॉलिक्यूल 100% ऑप्टिकली ऍक्टिव्ह असणार. असं का असणार आहे, याच्या मागचं रिझन उद्या बघू आपल्याला. ठीक आहे, याचं मागचं रिझन जे आहे, हा कन्सेप्ट आहे, ते उद्या शिकवेल. इट इज कन्सेप्ट ऑफ सिमेट्री. मी तुम्हाला उद्या सांगेल हे, है ना. लक्षात आलं सगळ्यांना. होप यू अंडरस्टूड द लेक्चर. यस, आफ्टर 2 minutes वी विल क्लिअर युअर डाउट्स. ठीक आहे, एकदा बघून घ्या बेटा सगळं. बघा हा स्टेटमेंट लक्षात आलं ना तुम्हाला. सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी, नॉन सुपर इम्पोजिबिलिटी, हे बघा कंडिशन्स ऑफ ऑप्टिकल ऍक्टिव्हिटी. 2 कंडिशन लक्षात आलेत ना. Compound should not be divided into 2 equal half and non-superimposable images. Non-super mirror imposable images. हे 2 कंपाऊंड, हे 2 कंडिशन जर सॅटिस्फाय झालं, कंपाऊंड इज ऑप्टिकली ऍक्टिव्ह. या 2 कंडिशनला मी एकच कंडिशन करेल, पण ते उद्या कसं ते कन्सेप्ट एक्सप्लेन करेल उद्या. ठीक आहे, ओके, लक्षात आलं बेटा. आणि हे दोन्ही स्टेटमेंट्स लक्षात आलेत ना. होप यू अंडरस्टूड. ओके, एक दोन मिनिटांनी आपण डाऊट क्लिअर करू. क्लिअर.